Welcome to a demonstration of the diagramming method used in the Zondervan Exegetical Commentary on the New Testament. Now in this first session I want to show you how to set things up. So the first thing we're going to do once we have our Word document opened is we're going to adjust the document so that it is landscape. Go to Page Setup and I'm going to indicate that I want a landscaped format. Now as you can see, I'm working in the Macintosh environment. You might be working in Windows. Word should have similar ways of formatting in either platform. So you might need to do things just a little bit differently if you're on the Windows side. So once I have my document opened up and I now have it in landscape, landscape is going to give us the opportunity to extend our diagram to the right across the page. Different authors subordinate those clauses, and sometimes those clauses are going to extend over beyond the right margin. We're going to learn a way to bring diagrams that have extended too far to the right back to the center, but for now just get your document set up in landscape mode. Now we want to enter in a heading for each of our tables. I want to suggest that you do one table for each unit in your commentary. So I'm just going to use chapter 1 verses 3 through 6. I'm working in Philippians as just an example. And so you want to enter in a heading, and then we're going to go up to table and we're going to insert the table. Now we only need 3 columns in our table and only 1 row, so you want to make those adjustments. So we're going to push OK, and that's going to give us our table. Now in terms of the format of the table, there are a couple of things that you may need to adjust. If I go up to table and go to table properties, I want to then go and make sure that I'm not automatically resizing to fit the contents of each of the cells in the table. So we want to uncheck that if that is checked. And then if you go to cell, you want to make sure that in your vertical alignment, that your vertical alignment in each cell is set to top. This will keep the text aligned horizontally across the page if all of the cells are set the same way. So we want to set those cells to align to the top and then press OK. The one other thing that I want to encourage you to do is to go ahead and set your font for Times New Roman. And just make sure that that is set. I have my font size set to a number 10. I actually, at that font size, like to have my my view at 150% so I can see the text really well. But that smaller font size will also give us the ability to kind of stretch across the page there. So Times New Roman, just for consistency, go ahead and make sure all of the cells are set to that font. The only exception to that is going to be when we do a quotation from the Old Testament, and that font, that's going to be set off in an Arial font. Okay, so I have my table here. Now I want to adjust my columns. The first column in my table is going to have verse numbers, and so we don't need much space for that, so we're going to pull this over to somewhere around a half an inch there, maybe just a little bit less. And then the second column is going to show our semantic tags. I'm going to pull that over to about 1.5, and then the whole right side is going to, that third column is going to contain our translation and our diagram. Okay, the one other thing we're going to do in our setup is put our translation into that third column. So I have copied my translation from elsewhere. You could translate right into the box if you want to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and put my translation of these verses in there, and as we get things set up, then we will start adding in those verse designations as well, and we'll talk more about that in the next session.